So right off the gate, if you haven't went through the courses in the school, I highly suggest you go through the music theory basics, songwriting basics, because when you're writing harmonies, you at least need to know the basics of major and minor scales and chords. When we start a timestamp, we try to keep it to one line per, but there may be a situation where maybe Ryan repeats it in falsetto, or we had Scott on the lower end, like doubling it just to fill out that bottom end, and that's fine. But at the major point of this, there are four vocal parts. So maybe play mine first, and then we'll add yours.
Awesome. All right, so let's hear Jamie's part of that choir.
Sweet emotion.
So the first thing I noticed is I know this Aerosmith song. I've done it a million times. The main harmony would drop down. But again, this is out of an A major chord. And as I'm scoring these with these three other singers, I already know that Tiago and Scott, for this particular song, is going to be singing down around an A or an F sharp. So I thought, I don't need to drop down there. So I kept mine right there. So I did modify it. But I'm still within that is your A major scale. Again, that's why you need to study the theory course. So I know which notes I can play. When you're stacking vocals together, and this is so important for anyone who watches this in the school, quit trying to be perfect. I remember when I recorded Lisa, Dallin Beck had me go back and sing the chorus like I was my grandma. So, and I said, you're goofy, Dallin. Why would you do that? And he's like, because it will sonically fill up the space and it gives it a nice spectral. So when you heard it a minute ago, it was really smooth. So we don't worry about little imperfections. In my voice, Ryan's voice, whoever, there may be a little waver, maybe it goes from clean to gritty. That's all right. We're not trying to be robots. And I think personally, auto-tuning is a beautiful thing. I think the problem is in modern pop culture is they made it so synthetic that everybody sounds so robotic. We didn't want to do that with timestamp because as you stack them, they'll sound better. So you put that to give it more of that oral spatial sense to blend with mine.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
And then I was experimenting singing the part as I was recording it. Which is one of the greatest parts about recording is hearing yourself back. And I realized, oh, well, I was trying it in full voice, trying it in falsetto. Why not try both of them? So we have the full voice harmony underneath it. It's the exact same notes as what I just showed you guys. And if I add them both together, you might now hear how they can both stack together. And like Jamie said, and how Dallin told him, layering those two together is going to give you such a great sound.
Sweet emotion.
Just a tiny bit of difference in the nuances, but it's so close together. So now when you add that to mine, this is where we're building a chord. And the funny thing is Ryan's actually singing, since it's an A chord, he's singing the root note, which is actually the major lead. But I'm singing, which will be the fifth, because in an A major chord, you have A, C sharp, and E. But I'm down here on E, and he's up here. So it sounds like this. Play out you and me together, Ryan.
Sweet